what we'll do is some basic do's and don'ts checks as an initial walkthrough. Weather stripping clear and secure. Initial overview. Outlet plates secure for check. Washing machine outlet install. Cover plates for all outlets. Dryer vent needs cleaning. Breaker outlets correctly marked and labeled. No open blank spaces. Nothing more than a 1/4 to 1/2 inch difference or space around it. Arc fault GFI breakers installed in the master bedroom, living room, dining room. Lights, I'm assuming that might be tied to both bedrooms then. No. Let's find out. Yeah, just these lights. And back bedroom. To test correctly. Test. It'll fall halfway to a position. Completely off, back on. Test, back on. Secondary way of doing it. It says living room, dining room. We have an ARCI GFCI circuit tester. We will install it, and since it is under an AFCI tester, we should just for training purposes, let's try to do it under the GFCI testing. Arc fault breakers will not test under GFCI testing. Let's check to make sure that everything is wired up correctly. Use our basic outlet tester, GFCI tester. Light signifying correct, 120 volts. Light signifying correct, 120 volts. Alright, being the kitchen range side, I try to follow a straight path. Outlet plates, let's move on to the fridge, freezer, shelving, gaskets, intact. This property is set with refrigerators with ice makers, so we check to make sure that it is installed. Lower compartment refrigerator, gasket, seals check, door, drawers, shelving, all of the above. I leave it on the recommended, not all the way on. Now, I would not walk away from it being like this, but it is a pet peeve of mine that the doors open to the kitchen. So for whatever reason, it seems like they might have had to change this out quickly, but it being a vacant unit, I'll make sure that we label it so they can swap it back around when they finish. GFCI outlet. Correct. 120. Let's test. Set to reset. Good to go. For training purposes, turn back on. Let's test with GFCI. Let's reset. Let's test under AFCI. Will not test under AFCI. Has to be done under GFCI. These testers are great, fine and dandy. Reading on the breaker themselves, the button clearly says test, and from what I've read from Square D and most manufacturers is that you test it here. While the other testers are convenient, expensive, and functional, they should work, not always time work. This would also be the most definite and first place that I would test to make sure that these work correctly, that it completely trips off all the way on. We already did the outlets, so we showed how that can be done and how it can be tested with the right type of tester at the same time. Range eyes are missing. I look for shelving, I look for gaskets, for door hardware, clear indication of temperature settings as it is. My OCD won't let me walk away from the clock setting. Back to business. So again, tested the outlet, moving across, cabinetry, hardware, things to identify as you're going. Microwave, clear, no breaks, no cracks. Everything is legible, able to read. Surface cooking light low, high, vent fan. Most inspectable vent fans anyways, if it circulates back into the unit as this one does per here. Only inspectable vent fans would normally access through here, out the roof, and exit the building. Those would be the ones you would want to clear to make sure that they are sealed properly in here, out through the duct, and outside. We can do that in a later training video. As it's setting up under here, these would be your range clean fire stops. They have an indication labeled here. Hopefully we can read this both ways. Expiration date, I think, is 10 years from manufacturer date, that being July 2028. Those are clear and good. I can actually backtrack to the smoke alarms. Smoke alarms too as well have a 10-year from manufacturer expiration date. That would be something you would want to take down on the back of the identification plate, remove it from the mounting plate, and on the back it'll have the manufacturer or the expiration date labeled on there. Vents clear, open, lighting, lenses, visual inspection of the sprinkler heads. Even though I'm on the ground, it's not too high up, I can tell that they're not loaded with dust, debris, etc. Moving to this side, GFCI receptacle, turn our outlet tester back on, correctly wired, showing 120 volts, test, does, reset. Correct. Have a power, signify, acknowledge. The dishwasher. Garbage disposal is clogged up, but that is the power for it. We have a labeled cabinet door marked fire extinguisher inside. Check the fire extinguisher. Our tag is May 2024. It being May 2025, it expires at the end of this month. So we will let them know to schedule. We check for operational range that it is clearly in the green, marked as charged area. You do not want it below or over that green portion in the center there. I've never seen one not work if it's overcharged. It's just that's the set standard. That's the rule that you follow. That's what I follow. That's what I teach you. Let's look for a manufacturer date on this extinguisher to help them out. Where's it at, Matt? Quit overlooking it. Oh, has a marked stamp, 2019. These have a 6-year life. So that would indicate it being 2025. It is at the end of its lifespan. We either replace or we ask that they depressurize, remove the powder, change out the stems, seals, pressure gauge, re-put back together, repressurize, and check. It's a point of reference from my hand. I've seen too many times. I know that there is the dollar and cents factor, these being a life safety thing. I could also see the benefit in just changing them. I don't think I've ever received one brand new that just randomly leaked down, but I have seen dozens that have effectively leaked down. So it is one of your quarterly checks that you need to stay on top of moving forward when they are done that way. Open, clear, open, lights fully work, outlet plates, beautiful, great, great. Thermostat on, running in cool mode, feels great in this unit. Smoke alarm up outside the door, smoke alarm up inside the door. Outlet plate, outlet plate, outlet plate. Clear window, for whatever reason unlocked. It opens, window screen, stays open by itself. We shut and we lock windows. Door stops are a must. Lighting, closet, switch plate, clear sprinkler heads. Always keep your head on a swivel. Can always backtrack. All outlets or shelving and hardware is installed. Plates, clear return. Door is locked. We'll open it in a second. Outlet plate. Exhaust fan. Drain stopper. Check for warm water. Flushes. If there's not shift on the base. Sink stopper. Water. The stopper holds water. Leases. Test. green means go. Mirror, magnetic closing, hardware, no signs of leaks, debris, clean, beautiful, stop and must, no damage to the hull, any of the flooring, thresholds, things that are all nice, hot water there. Very clean air handler closet, float switch, free breeze, basic concrete flooring, very clean, changed the filter. Oh, look at that, I changed the filter. Dated initially, every time. Don't skip it. Creates accountability. Also, you can always refer back to it if there's ever an issue with something or a resident questions it. It's just a great, easy thing to do. Outlet plate check, light check, moving, clear doors, locks, working, weather stripping, secure, open. Patio clean, light, some bugs we should remove. Outlet on the patio, test. Green means go. Secure railing, clean doors, sprinkler head free of debris. Peaceful. Again, we lock doors. Outlet plate checks. Three-way switch check. Lighting check. Ceiling fan check. Master bedroom. Door hardware. Shuts. Locks. Door stops, door bumper. Master bathroom. Exhaust working. Light working. Basic reset. Power. Trip. Green means go. Sink. This unit's clean. Water. Sink stopper holds. Release. Toilet is secure. Flushes. Stopware, hardware, diverters, shower head. Water, hot water, bathroom door, secures, locks, check. Do that on both bathrooms, both bedrooms. Should never be a keyed entry lock to a bedroom and or bathroom that we do not have a key to. I always go for the point of reference. What was installed is what we go back with. It'll help you identify your ADA accessible units, your ground floor units. Everything is there for a purpose. It's just easier and a better rule of thumb to follow to put it back that way. Outlet check, 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 and check. Bedroom window. Clean. Seal looks great. For whatever reason unlocked. Opens. Window screens check. shut and lock windows. Be respectful to the blinds. Door stop check. Closet. Light fixture check. Hardware, shelving brackets. Everything seems secure and in order. Outlet plate check. Smoke alarm in bedroom check. Lo and behold, we have made it back to the front door. We turn off lights. As my double and my check, if I am to walk out of unit, pretty sure our recommended temperature that we leave it at for running in the winter time is 68, and in the summertime we set it to 78. If our ceiling fans are going, it'll help circulate air in the unit. That's just a great reference that I set forth with. This is a back apartment, faces the wood line. I always like the natural light to stay open from the blinds being open the way it's set. I think it's appealing when the resident walks in for the first time and sees how it is. If this was a downstairs front unit, faced another building, I would close these just for security purposes of people knowing what units are vacant and not. The only other light that I leave on is my surface light so that there is some form of light when I walk in the door. I leave my patio light on as a form of outdoor security. We lock and shut our front door, but I also leave my breezeway light on as an extra form of security in the breezeway, just in case not all of your light fixtures are on and working at that moment. But that's the rundown, that's your walkthrough. I'm sure there can be extras that we can check and we can add to it, but I think that was a functional, easy walkthrough. Found a few small minor things. We'll make that list, we'll give it to the manager, have her set up a work order for the guys to come double check, have the unit cleaned. And we'll double check that move-in tag so that it's ready when they're ready for the day. That way we will be ready the day the resident shows up to move in to give them the best possible experience. If any of you have ever moved, it's not a fun experience, but the move-in process from our end, we can make it as easy and functional as possible and give them the best foot forward and set the best example for the property and ourselves as technicians and management.